I get mad at myself. And I say, you know better.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know better.
Right.
And then I start feeling this little bit of religion creep in.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me think different again.
Mm-hmm.
Just get over this thought, whatever it would be.
Mm-hmm. It is on, but...
Yeah, well, I forgot about it before.
Me too.
Okay.
That's okay. It's
Hey,
better that way. It's
Make
just
me giddy.
It's just me and you. That's funny. So, what was I asking you? I think I was asking you if you were religious, right? Okay, and then we were talking about the Methodist thing.
Yeah, we never were devout at all.
Right, right.
Only when we visited Aunt Belle.
Mm-hmm. Because she was...
walk over to the church, which, you know.
Right, right. In Batstow.
Yeah.
So tell me about Batstow. You would go there, starting about how old did you start to get that kind of privilege to be able to go and spend time there?
You got me.
Well, what's the earliest you remember spending time there?
I don't know. I know by the time I was like 11, 12, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Probably before that. I don't really remember that.
Pretty young. And
Yes,
did you get to... Was it summer after summer after summer until you reached a certain age?
Well, the 6 of us had to take our turn. However it worked out.
Mm-hmm. Even the boys
So-
wanted to do it. Everybody wanted to do it.
Yeah, now, you know, I don't recall, though, come to think of it, Mildred and Preston, if they did that too. I don't really remember.
Yeah.
But Ginny and Buster, Emma, and I, we all had our turn.
Yeah. How did it even come about that Aunt Belle, did she only work there during the summers, or did she work there all
lived there.
year?
She lived there.
She lived there and worked there.
Yeah. Certain area,
Uh-huh.
we called it ours.
Right, right,
Because we could run upstairs. Our bedrooms were upstairs.
right.
And it's like it was kind of separated from the mansion.
And the mansion, who lived in the mansion?
There was nobody in there.
Ever?
The big owners are Lippincott Company, who writes books. J.B. Lippincott.
Yeah.
And the other big company. They were relatives, if I remember right.
So the family
So
would...
they would come down
Uh-huh.
in the summer. They would have at least I know they had a couple of big things doing during the summer. Right there.
Oh. So they would only come a couple times a year, maybe.
Not many times would we see them. But we just didn't go out and play around
When they were there.
where we played on that big swing or anything when they were there.
Right,
We just minded our business.
right.
But they had, I guess, at least 30 canoes stored in a separate building.
Yeah.
And they would get those canoes out. They came special for that one part of the summer.
Uh-huh.
It looked so neat.
Wow, I bet.
And I would wish I could go with them. I really didn't want to go out in the water,
Right.
but I just thought it would be so nice to be with those rich people and, you
It's
know,
a whole different...
and
must have been a
have
whole different
fun.
life.
They were screaming and carrying on, having a good time, passing the bottle around. I think some of them were just living, doing what they liked.
Yeah, right.
So
It's just a different lifestyle. Not working, but enjoying their life.
knows?
Yeah, that
Who
had to be
knows?
hard.
Yeah, never got to talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Aunt Belle, all we did was clean the house for them for when they came. I did have the opportunity to help Aunt Belle.
Yeah, clean the
Every
house.
time I went, I love working.
Uh-huh.
It was wonderful working in there.
I bet.
It was easy.
Yeah.
We didn't scrub it up dub hard, whatever.
Well, it's probably pretty
And-
clean.
And I thought, it's such a privilege to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I'd go, I'd say, what a
Right.
privilege. I'm in the mansion again.
You could pretend. As a kid, I would imagine I would be pretending like I belonged there. And,
Yeah.
you just pretend in your
To a
mind.
degree,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
But with those canoes, I could see them,
Mm-hmm.
thinking about them now. They would upend them, of course, so that their heads would go up into the canoe.
Mm-hmm.
There'd be one person in the front and one in the back,
Mm-hmm.
usually. Sometimes 3 under it,
Right.
according to how little the girls were.
Right.
But they all were green. It was like all these green walking canoes, and they always bunched together.
Uh-huh.
It looked so pretty from up. I would go upstairs
Yeah.
and look out one of the windows.
Mm-hmm.
It was so neat.
That is neat.
It
I
was
wonder
so
what kind
neat.
of a... Huh. I wonder what kind of a thing it was. That's pretty neat.
What kind of a thing?
Or what was the celebration about? It must have been some kind of a...
Well, summertime, and it seems to me they had another important building, and I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure
Mm-hmm.
there was one more up north,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't remember. Can't quite get it. I've tried for days to remember that. More than days.
Up North Jersey.
Months and months trying to figure it out.
What the other building was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Another mansion somewhere.
I might have it written, who knows.
Huh. That's neat.
Happy group, I'll tell you. It was nice just hearing them.
So how long would you stay? Each of you stay when you were there with Aunt Belle? How long? How many? Would it be weeks, months,
Oh no, oh no.
a few days?
I guess almost a week. I don't believe I got a chance to go to church twice when I was there with her ever. I don't think.
Oh, okay.
That's the only guide that I have in my head.
Uh huh. Right.
So it was evidently 5 or 6 days, I guess.
Would you sleep with her, or you had your own bedroom?
Yeah.
Right.
I had a room sometimes. I think there had to be 2 of us together somewhere in the process.
Mm-hmm.
Something. I remember sleeping in a little alcove. It was a slave, come to think of it. It was a slave room
Really?
where they used to stick them up in there. It was like a floor.
Yeah.
All right, we would go up. Okay, you can't visualize this. There was a big water tower inside of the house. It's still there.
Uh-huh.
Big water tower.
Right.
Well, on that level, before the top of the place,
Right.
that water tank, and right before you get up to the level of that tank, you would go up about 5 or 6 steps
Uh-huh.
and stick your head over and look to your left, because there's wall.
Mm-hmm.
Look to the left. It was like maybe 6 foot. Probably more like 5. But just this, like a little long room. I was always told it was a slave room. And I believe it.
Probably, right?
I believe it.
When was...
But I never heard a real story about these slaves. See, that's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think I asked Josh, my father's brother that lived there also.
Mm-hmm.
but he didn't seem to know an answer, or I would know.
How come your father's brother lived there?
Why? Because I guess because there was room. It gave him a job.
He was working there, living there.
He lived there with Aunt Belle.
Oh,
It was
okay.
his sister.
Right.
Hard to believe. It's hard to think about he was Aunt Belle's brother. Even May. But he was Uncle Josh Brown.
He was Aunt Belle's brother. Okay.
He was a big drinker.
Really?
Always drunk at our house
Mm-hmm.
on Weymouth Road. I remember that. Always. We were so mad. We would be out picking blueberries, come home. See, now I was real young when that happened. And we had a watermelon in our refrigerator. And when we come home, we found that laying outside of the fridge on the floor. He was so drunk he couldn't handle it.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually squashed up. He must have dropped it very hard. All of us kids, I think we all cried.
Oh, you're
We
probably
couldn't
looking forward
wait.
to it. Yeah.
We couldn't wait. And
Right.
I'm sure we must have eaten most of it.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't remember. Just remember seeing it all squashed.
Yeah, that had to be hard.
Yeah, he was a drinker. He could drink and drink and drink, but we didn't ever say it, of course.
Was he married? Was he married?
Never, to my knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
I think my mother said that he had a girlfriend once when he was young,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe he drank then, who knows. Well, my father was a drinker.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how long. Well, I think he was just getting over it when I was 12, 13. Because he carried his flask, or he had it in the car when we were in this accident.
Mm-hmm.
Think I told you about that?
I don't remember hearing about that.
I was 12, going on 13, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And it was right at the beginning of school.
Mm-hmm.
He was in the hospital, my father.
Uh-huh.
Had this accident.
Oh,
I
no.
didn't tell you about that.
I don't remember hearing about that.
That was terrible. That was
Really?
really terrible. I knew that I didn't want my father to die.
Wow.
I would say, I almost tell him to his face, I hate you, but I didn't want to see him die like I thought was going to happen.
Right.
I was thrown out of the car. That's what's wrong with me. I was thrown out. The windshield, it was the old-fashioned. Can you visualize the old-fashioned
They
one?
were small, right?
It
Small
was wasn't small,
Oh, okay.
but it was one piece.
Mm-hmm.
It was one piece
Mm-hmm.
with a lever of some sort, and that thing is what I was thrown out from under. We were going up the White Horse Pike. You know how those roads are straight.
Mm-hmm.
You know that.
You in the front seat. It was
Just he and
you.
I
Just
were going home from one of those auctions
uh-huh.
that was in Egg Harbor.
Right.
So we're heading toward home,
Uh-huh.
and we got up to Elwood,
Uh-huh.
and there was a light. One light in Elwood.
Mm-hmm.
Crossroad. The guy from the crossroad was coming out, and we're just moving along,
Mm-hmm.
going right, driving right, because Dad didn't drink then.
Mm-hmm.
Not at all, I don't think. But the man came out. He was drunk.
Oh, no.
Drunk.
Oh my gosh.
I could still hear him screaming, "Get that man out there! Get that man out there!" It's like ran right into us. Ruined the car.
Wow.
Ruined it.
You went flying from the car?
I was thrown out on the sidewalk,
Oh.
and when I was laying there, and when I came to, I had cinders of some sort in my eyeballs,
Mm.
and a real nice lady looking down at me, talking to me,
Mm-hmm.
checking to see if I was alive.
Sheesh.
One car on the road, I swear. They came from in back of us somewhere and saw what was going on in their back rear view mirror, I guess.
Right.
They had gone past the light